Hi everyone, welcome to my August reset. Each month I like to do a reset where I go over the goals that I set for the previous month, set new goals for the current month, make a new fresh digital vision board to go with my current goals, and also just reset my home, my work, my life a little bit. Our August reset is going to be a little bit different from the resets that I've done previously because I just want to make it a little bit more structured. I have a list of different things that I want to reset and I'm going to go through each of them with you. So things that I want to reset is just do a general cleanup and decluttering of the house. It gets very kind of messy. Not messy, just gets very cluttery, especially with me, just because I have a lot of props. I have a lot of things coming in and out. I have my shoot equipment. We're still trying to set up the house and decorate it. We've been here for about a year now, but for the first big chunk of it, I was still freshly postpartum, so not really able to do stuff. And if I left it up to my husband to decorate, you know what? I'd rather not even think about that. So I'm still kind of working and going through that process. So everything does get a little cluttered. I also have to organize and do a fridge organization. And as usual, we're going to be talking about the books that I've read in the month, new books that I've purchased, and what my reading goals are for the new month. We're going to be doing some meal planning this month. So I have a good nutritious meal for myself and for the baby. My husband has his own diet plan that he gets from a nutritionist, and that's what he follows. But for me and the baby, I have a meal plan that's happening. Just basically veggies, protein, some yummy foods that we both like, and trying to incorporate that in a nutritious way. I also want to do a little mini tech declutter as well. Just clean out my hard drive, my SSDs, and just make sure that everything's backed up. We're going to be getting some new flowers for the home as well, and I want to get some new plants as well. I wanted to pick up a few seeds and all of that. It's monsoon season currently where I am, and I have been told, I'm going to do more research on this, but I have been told that it's a really good time to start thinking about planting things for the year ahead. So I want to plant some flowers because my daughter loves picking flowers and it's a nice activity for us to do. And because also Diwali is coming up, I thought it'd be nice to, if I plant some now, hopefully they'll reach maturity around that festive season and the house would look really nice. And I want to do a little aesthetic outside reset for myself to get a pedicure, get a manicure, get maybe my eyebrows done. I don't have a good facial place here, else I'd love to go get a facial, but maybe a massage as well. The last reset, the self one, I'm a little bit unsure just because we are short on time. Usually with my resets, I like to do it on the last weekend of the month or the last 2 days of the month, kind of just what works out better for our family timetable. However, for this month's reset, because we just have a lot going on as a family, I'm also doing 75 hard. So it's just a lot that's happening. I'm daily vlogging 75 hard as well. So things are just really hectic. I am going to be doing some of the activities just during the last week of the month, not only the last 2 days. So if you see me in different outfits throughout this, just know that it's been done in the last month and not on the same day. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start decluttering and cleaning up the house. The first thing that I'm going to do is declutter the house. I'm going to give myself 1 hour to just declutter as much as I can and then call it a day. I wish I could take longer than an hour. I could honestly spend an entire day or weekend cleaning up the house. However, we just need to do the essentials, just get things back to where they belong and just clear off desks, clear off the table, just tidy things up as nicely, as neatly as possible, and then just move on with it. So 1 hour, while I do this, I'm gonna listen to my audiobook. I'm listening to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then I've rented that audiobook on Libby, so it's free, but then I also have Atomic Habits on Audible that I'm listening to. So I'm gonna choose between one of them and just speed through this. I have an hour because I also have to get ready and head to tennis, but this needs to be done. We need a home reset. I quickly got changed to do the home cleanup, so I'm ready for tennis. We can leave at any time. And then I'm gonna make myself a big glass of water as well. I was supposed to have finished 3 liters on, when you're doing 75 hard, you have to drink around 4 liters of water, just a little under. I'm running a little behind today, so this is just my 2nd liter, but I want to get this done in the 1 hour that I'm going to take to clean the house. I honestly probably have about 45 minutes right now. I've got to tell you guys, I am not enjoying tennis. I don't know why I'm not enjoying tennis. However, as part of like 75 Hard and just like reading some of the books that I read, like I read Can't Hurt Me on 75 Hard as well, I'm learning the art of like pushing through something and continuing something. I do have a major problem with like starting stuff but not like really seeing it through. Even now I'm telling myself like, oh, like I don't like it, the instructor's not good, he keeps canceling and he's not friendly and it's so far to get there. You know, like all of these excuses that you come up with in your head, I'm just trying to like push through them. Some of them I feel like are completely valid excuses to have. However, at the end of the day, they are simply that, excuses as to why I'm not doing something that I guess at the end of the day I do like to do and I would like to get better at, and me and my husband, we would like to be able to play against each other and have that kind of in common. So I'm gonna push through it, but I think I might get around like a 30-minute cleanup session and we might have to continue once I'm back home. I'm gonna put on a timer on my phone so we can keep track. It's 4 p.m. right now in my time, and we have to leave around like 4:30, 4:45 max to make it to class on time by 5. I think like we'll still be like 5 minutes late or ish, like depending on traffic, you never know. And if the road is closed or something like that, it might be here and there. So ideally 4:30. So I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes. Let's see how much we can get done. You guys can't see how messy the house is. I'm doing a 1 hour timer that's like on YouTube, and I'll just stop it when I'm done and then I'll come back home and I can pick back up. But I'm gonna do a room at a time. So I'm gonna start off with this living room area, and then hopefully we can get the living room and dining room done. We have about 22 minutes of the cleaning session left. I've gotten most of the areas clean. I just need to put away 3 things in the kitchen. And then there's a stack of flowers right here behind me. And all of these need to be thrown out. Some of them look in the video like alive, but it's like the stem has rotted and it's just producing like smell and it's soggy and it's attracting bugs, so they need to go. I'm waiting for my husband to come up. He's in like meetings, so as soon as he's here we can leave. But in the little time that I have left, I want to tackle my office room a little bit as well. Just needs a freshen up again. I think I should be able to do it in 20 minutes. This has really been the first time that I've done like a speed declutter clean. I highly recommend setting a timer and just doing a quick declutter because it stops you from going down like a rabbit hole of like organizing or deep cleaning anything, and just like getting what needs to be done. Hi guys, we are continuing on with our home declutter, catching up with you guys after our tennis lesson. I didn't get a chance to clean up the office room, but hopefully I'll get time to do it today, if not just tomorrow morning. I would like to do it today, but right now I'm in our closet, and every month I like to do a quick closet refresh. I think the past 2 months my mic wasn't plugged in for the closet refresh, so hopefully this time it's working. Basically just putting things away. We usually like just have like a build up, or like things just get piled on top of each other. Like when I take out my bags, like I don't put them back properly, or there's like lip gloss or something still left in the bag, etc. And just like putting maybe like the outfits and clothes back to where they belong. I like to have everything color coordinated so I can find a particular outfit. There's like, my husband randomly has his t-shirt just like shoved in here. I think this is what he wore to the gym today, and maybe he's planning on, or I don't know what happened here. But anyway, so things are messy like that. If like there's any new outfits in, I just want to put them all the way in the correct spot. So let's get on with it. I'm going to continue listening to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Oh, is that leaking? Do you see that? Oh my gosh. Guys, do we see that? If you've been following along with my vlogs for a while, you will know we had some trouble in our closet where the roof wasn't waterproofed properly, so it leaked during last monsoon and this entire roof fell. There's water seepage there. To get this room fixed, it will cost a lot of money for us, and then to get the tiles on the roof fixed again costs a lot of money again. And then just to have like your closet out of commission, like we were just like looking for stuff in the dark, and then everything got dusty, like all the clothes, all the bags, all the floor, everything was super dusty. Like I think it was out for like 4 5 months. I almost want to say 6 months it was out. I think like maybe, yeah, like from this, oh gosh, I'm gonna share my husband and I hope he can do something to prevent it from collapsing again, because it would just be horrible. Really, I already have a leak in my window in my office, and I don't know, it's just something about this house and water, it just doesn't mix. But let's get started. All right, let's turn on the audiobook. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is remove all of the clothes from this rack. I had initially put all of the clothes on the rack because they were supposed to go somewhere else, and then that never happened, and now it's just hanging out here. So, and it just takes up so much space and just creates such a blockage. So we're gonna just remove this rack. That's the first thing. And I'm also gonna set a timer, guys. We're just gonna go for it. 30 minutes, guys. Let's start with our fridge organization. I'll show you guys what the fridge looks like now. It is super duper messy, but we're gonna get started. I've already done like a wipe down of all of the shelves before, not today, but like a couple weeks ago, and it's just gotten messy again. So we're not gonna do that again today, but what we are gonna do is just empty out each shelf at a time and then check things, be throwing them out. Expired or moldy, gone bad, etc. Okay, in like the little drawer at the bottom where you're supposed to put fresh fruit and vegetables, I'm gonna put all of this. It's called like this stuff. It's like a South Indian thing, I think. We have a lot of them, and we have like lots of pickles and stuff like that. So they're gonna go in there because one, we have a lot of them, and it'll be a nice way to see all of them, and they just take up a lot of space everywhere else basically. And instead of being like squished in all of these places, now pickles and stuff, and instead of being squished, now at least we can, like, they're all organized and in one location. These are some containers we had from before, and I'm just going to put them out. I'm just organizing the lower part right now, and just putting all the baby stuff because she opens the fridge sometimes, and I just want her to see like her things when she does that. Okay, so she has her little pouches of, and then little juice boxes, her yogurts. Here is what the fridge is looking like right now. On the top shelf, I have water bottles, and then this is my lactose-free milk, and then some like tonic water and other mixers. We don't really drink this that often, but we just have this since like the last time we had people over. And then almond milk here. I only have like one of these, so it didn't make sense to use something else like this. And also I only bought 3 of these anyway. So, but these like little milk ones, I have like a ton of them because they finish super fast, and you can only buy them in like a bulk. Then we have some fruits. I decided to put the fruits like in this like section of the fridge, so it's like you open it and you see the fruits right away. Usually like the fruits are kept at the bottom, and they just end up like rotting, and we don't end up eating it because we just forget about them. And this way, if anyone's feeling like a snack, you can see it right here and you can kind of grab it. So I kept like mangoes, banana, pomegranate here, apples and pears, and then there's some kiwi in the back over there as well. Then we have our next little section. We have here, there's some dog treats right over here, some nuts, again like in these little containers, so I can literally just grab this and like put it next to my desk and munch on this if I wanted to. At the back I have some like baking things, so like brown sugar, some flour, and this is like a little crate of cheeses. We don't have that much cheese usually, but my mother-in-law just came in from out of town, so she brings us cheese from Hyderabad, because in where we live there's like really no cheese available. And then here, these bottom sections are like something that I arrange for my daughter, so she can like, she like is really into opening the fridge lately. So she has, this is like an egg thing. I don't know where to kind of keep it, so I just kept it here temporarily because this section was empty anyway. But we have biscuits for her, like crackers, and then we have some snacks, little things that she can grab. And then she's really into having sunflower seeds, so she has that. There's some more crackers right over here, some crackers there at the back too. Then we have, I've put the little pull-out thing right over here, and then we have some mandarin oranges. We make fresh orange juice with these. We don't have regular oranges available where we live right now, so we just use these mandarin oranges, and you can also just like have them, peel them, have it as a snack, and some grapes as well because she loves grapes. And then these are her little pouches that she can grab, some yogurt, which she loves. And at the bottom here, this is not her section. This is kind of like all of my husband's stuff. It is the pickles and things like that he likes to eat. And these are all like long life stuff. This is stuff that he'd probably be eating every single day anyway. He seeks it out basically. It's like keeping your chocolates in here basically, so I know like nothing here is going to be forgotten about. And then it's also just all in its like little separate compartment. And over here we have some of our like medicines and things like that. So like electrolytes, I have my multivitamins, I have some iron, magnesium powder. In this section we have some sauces, apple cider vinegar, just kind of a few random things, jam and stuff. And then again here, this is just basically where all of our chocolates and sweets live. And then here I have some like wine at the back. Again, we don't drink that often, so this just kind of stays here for a really long time. Juice, soda, and I think this is some like cherry juice. That is the fridge organized. Let's move on to our next task. Okay, we got some flowers in, so let's go ahead and de-plasticify them and put them in this vase. This is not a super tall vase. I probably need to get a little taller vase for lilies that I have here, but I can also tell that she gave me some old and bad lilies because the stems are kind of short, so hopefully it'll work for this. I don't have a good florist again where I live. It's such a shame. Yeah, I think like also like the city that I live in just doesn't get the best quality of flowers either. We really get like really bad quality. And yeah, I'll show you after I open this bouquet kind of what it has. Some water here at the bottom, so the water is so dirty. Anyway, I'm gonna just open this over the sink and then I'll tell you guys why I think this is so bad. All right, we are free from the plastic wrapping. I did first of all ask for just 10 stems of lilies, and first of all, your lily stems shouldn't be this short. Never buy lilies that are this open. And then usually lilies have about 5 petals each, and this one you can see only has 3. That means it's been bloomed for a long time. And this one only has 4, so some of them have already fallen off. You can just also tell by the leaves that it's not so hot right now. And yeah, if you guys didn't know, I owned a flower shop for 5 years. This year, or last year-ish, I started the process of closing it down. My flower shop was based in Hyderabad, and I basically moved to a new city, and I realized I couldn't continue running it from here. With a flower shop, you really do need to be there. Like as an owner, you really do need to be there. So anyway, even this one, you can see that she just, I say she because I know the owner of the shop is a she. So that's why I kind of know her. I don't like to interact with her as much because this kind of stuff really annoys me. I think it's just such bad like floristry, guy. Like really like this one is dead. These are not gonna bloom whatsoever. It's just so dishonest to sell something like this. Usually I would go and like try to pick something out myself. However, today, just because I was so busy doing all of these reset activities, and then I had to shoot another something for my 75 hard, so I just didn't have the time. And I mean, what was the point of this really? These are usually lilies can last you for about a good 7 days. This is like a nice longer stem. She gave me a broken stem, but anyway, I'm gonna try to salvage these. I'm gonna chop off this one at the bottom. All of the stems I'm cutting at a angle. It's not gonna be cut flat. It's always gonna be cut at an angle. Do that with whatever flowers that you have. It'll help them just take in more water. Even look at this little leaf. Like there's not a single bud here that's going to bloom. She also gave me a bunch of these leaves, which I don't really need. They're called, I actually do like the leaves because they remind me of a more expensive variant called Italian ruscus, which lasts forever. However, these are called like Camini or Camina Pata. They just don't last as long, and if you put them in your water, they really stink up your water. They deteriorate in water really fast as well, and people mainly use them just as like a filler. As someone in the field, this kind of stuff just irks me so much, but I definitely needed a narrower, like look at this guys. Like, so yeah, I recommend to go and pick out your own flowers, because then you avoid stuff like this, which is just so crappy. Like imagine if I was sending this to a friend. This is the exact reason why I started my own flower shop, because this is the kind of stuff I was getting when I first moved to Hyderabad. There's much better flower shops in Hyderabad now, but yeah, this is literally the kind of stuff that I was getting. It was ridiculous. A lot of people again don't know that flowers shouldn't be looking like this, and they don't want to pay maybe the extra something better. What I'm gonna do is maybe for next month, I'm gonna look up like a better florist in a main city that's near me so I can get my own flowers delivered. It's not too expensive to do that. It saves you some of the cash that you would be paying for just like a business's markup. So I'm gonna actually look into that, guy. I do need a taller vase for these flowers, but I have no idea where my other taller vases are. So we're gonna make do with this for right now. The flowers I think will literally only maybe last me another like day or two. They did a really good job at just like plucking away anything that was like slightly all of the dead petals, but yeah, nothing. There's maybe like 3 or 4 flowers here that have the full 5 petals. Maybe this one right over here, if you guys can see that one, maybe that one will bloom, but I think everything else is pretty done. Anyway, that's my little flower rant done. Let's move on to the next thing for our reset. Let's talk about the books that I read this month, some new books that I ordered and that I got, a little book haul if you may, and what's on my reading list for the month of August. So this month I read a total of 8 books. My goal was 6 books. I didn't have any like particular books on my TBR or anything, which I kind of liked, but at the same time, there are some books that I need to kind of get through. So this month we will be having a TBR. You also know that sometime this year I started doing this thing where I have multiple books going at one time, and that's been great because it has really allowed me to read more. Like I'm never stuck on a book. However, that means I have so many books that I'm halfway through. I think right now I have about 6 books that I'm like somewhere between 40 to 80% of the way through that I do need to sit down, stop starting a new book, and actually complete those. So to start off with, the first book that I read this month was The Pelican Brief by John Grisham. This has been on my TBR for the longest time, I think for over 10 years. It was recommended to me by someone that I was seeing in high school at the time, and that's how long it's been. Not high school, university, sorry, I should say, because there's a lawyer that's featured in the book, and the person I was seeing was also studying to be a lawyer. So that's how long it's been there. But the story is about a murder of 2 chief justices, which is I think like the top lawyer dogs, top attorneys, top judges in the US. I'm not sure how that system exactly works because I think we have something that's slightly different in Australia. I might be completely wrong, but they get murdered and then we are on this quest to find out who did it. So that happens on one side, and then you have like the FBI, you get a little bit of the president in there as well, and then you have this college professor and his student. But in the beginning you have lots of different POVs. As you go through the book, it kind of narrows down and you have like really one main POV and then some like side stories that kind of come along. You guys know I have really bad book like briefs that I give you because I'm so conscious and I don't want to spoil anything. I hate it when somebody gives a book review and they spoil the entire book. They spoil like that it's gonna be enemies to lovers, or like the first guy that she meets isn't the actual partner or something like that. I hate that. I hate it when that happens and that aspect gets spoiled for me. Even like little details, I don't want to kind of spoil for you guys. But the book was really great. I would definitely read more of his books, maybe in the future, not right now, just because the genre of crime, thriller, mystery, it's not something that I love. I can appreciate and I really get into the book, but it makes me kind of anxious while reading the books. And yeah, it does get to me a little bit. So I would rate this book a 4 stars. Also, if you're new here, my book ratings are weak. I do feel bad giving bad ratings to books because I know an author has put together so much of their time. So the only time I give like less than a 3-star is if it was really, really bad. So yeah, but this book was good. I do recommend that you give it a read. It is slightly like old school kind of style. Like they're still using a payphone in the book. Yeah, like it's like that kind of a vibe, but highly recommend to give it a go. I think he does have other better books. I think there's one called like The Firm or something that is even better than this one, but I really enjoyed this read and it hasn't put me off from John Grisham as an author. The next book that we read for the month is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I really like this book. It is about like a supernatural, not a supernatural, yeah, I would say it's like the fantasy world, and it's not high fantasy, so it still has our real life world in it mixed in with high fantasy aspects. One is called Iris, It's about two people, Iris and Kit, and they basically are co-workers at a newspaper and they write, and then kind of just like their story going forward. It has a little bit of romance in it. It's not spicy at all, but it has definitely, it's romance central. I wouldn't even say a little bit. I would say it's pretty romance central. It was a great read, but I felt like not so connected to the characters or to the story. It wasn't like fantasy enough for me, where I was like, is this actually something that we believe in? Like, this is actually the world? Or is it just like the character hallucinating or making up stories? Does that make sense? It just like this fantasy aspect of that they had, I really just didn't get it. And it might just be because I was being daft, but the fantasy aspect of it, I just didn't quite get it. I don't know if I was being really daft about it, or I don't know, but it didn't really hit the spot. I know this is such a beloved book and I can definitely see why, but it really felt too high schooly for me. And I really didn't think even when I read like City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, I know that's more targeted as like YA, but it didn't feel like a YA book. And this really felt too young adult for me. And I really I just didn't feel that connected to the story, to the characters, yes, but like to what was maybe like the other part of the fantasy elements, I didn't really care. Like, you know, when you read ACOTAR, you care about the humans. You don't want them to get destroyed. You don't want like, you know, Highburn to invade, etc. But I was like, I just want you guys to be together. I don't care what happens to the rest of the world. So I would say for that book, I would give it a 3 stars. I know, don't hate me in the comments, but that's just personally how I feel. It was still beautifully written. It's not a badly written book. Again, I always say this, but my ratings are solely based on like personal preference, not like me thinking it was a badly written book. If I think it's a badly written book, I will tell you it's a badly written book. It was just based on the fact that I didn't connect with the characters as much as I thought I would. The next book that I read was Powerful by Lauren Roberts, and this is a little novella that's part of her trilogy series, the Powerless Trilogy, and it goes in between the first book and the second book. I bought this a while back, but I didn't read it until the second book in the series, Reckless, came out, and people say that you should give it a read, and this was really, really, really hyped, and I actually thought it was blah. Like, I didn't like, the story was good, but I'm not sure if it comes into play in a later book, but it was just like I really felt like it was a useless story. The character in here, if you've read the first book, spoiler alert right now, just fast forward to like the next 2 minutes, but the character in here dies in the first book. So, and then like the other characters in here don't make an occurrence in the second book that comes after this book. So I was like, why am I reading this? Like, why did you print this? Is it just, sometimes when I feel like people are padding their books or they just release something for a cash grab, I don't appreciate as a reader. And so far I felt like this book was really not necessary. I don't know if something happens in the third book where I'll feel differently, but it was decent writing, really like not necessary. It's also really irritating. Like, this is the next book in the series that it doesn't also, like, the spines are completely different, and you just like, yeah, like I didn't annotate anything in this book. I would give this book a 2 stars, you guys. I just like didn't really enjoy it. The next book that I read was Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Now, this is number 2 in her Powerless series, and basically Powerful comes before this one, in between the first and the second book. I did quite enjoy this book. You can see that I have bookmarked like a few things that I found were funny or romantic and things. This is kind of like, I would say this is YA as well. I can't remember how steamy the spice scenes were, but I would say that this is YA as well. But I connected more to these characters than I did to the characters of Divine Rivals. I would say Divine Rivals is better written than this book. Like, the writing style is just really, really nice in Divine Rivals than what I think Lauren Roberts' writing is. But as in terms of the story and connecting with the characters and the banter and all of that, it was so cute in this book. So there are definitely minuses here, and yeah, definite minuses here, but I still enjoyed this book quite a lot. After like finishing this book, I was really craving like to read more about the characters and stuff. I did a deep dive on like Reddit about the characters, and yeah, I really did enjoy this book. I would give it like a 4 stars. I really did enjoy it, but I think it did drag for a little bit in the middle. Like we could have just moved the plot along faster. I don't like it when we kind of like move forward in the plot and then move backwards, move forward, move backwards. That's something that happens in like the Blood and Ash series. I think in the second book, like the main character or one of the characters keeps trying to escape and they get pulled back. They try to escape again. They come back, like they're together, they're not together, etc. I also find that this book series is not really original. Like it does feel like a repetition of some of the other fantasy books that we have read. And at the end of the day, nothing in this world is original, but some of it just feels like a straight up copy. Like you just ripped it out of another book. It really, really, truly does. I still think that she did a beautiful job of like writing the book and it's a good story, but it maybe just needed, I feel like there's just too much that sometimes is ripped off in this book. The next book that I read is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. This is part of my Reading for 75 Hard, where you have to read a self-improvement nonfiction book. And I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I thought it was a great book. You can see again that I have bookmarked tons of it. I do think when you read this book, you have to take it with like a little grain of salt. Some of the stuff that he says can be like a little dangerous. For example, running a marathon while you're having kidney failure or doing something really strenuous while you have fractured kneecaps, etc. But the message that he tries to get across in the book, I think it's really great, and it personally has helped me a lot. And some of the concepts that he covers and talks about in the book has helped me a lot with 75 Hard. It has helped me kind of stick to things and do things that I need to do, even if I don't like to do them, do things that I have committed to. And then kind of sometimes we say things like, I don't vibe with this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. I felt like that. I started Pilates this month or last month, and I was like, oh, I just don't feel like going. It's too early. It's to this, it's to that. And this book has really helped me like understand like why we should do things that we don't enjoy doing, why we should push through things. And sometimes I make up stupid excuses like I just don't vibe, or is the movement that I'm doing actually hurting me, or I just don't want to do it because it's hard. So I would give this book a 4 stars. Some of it just did feel a little draggy at the end. I thought it could have been a little bit shorter as well, and did feel a little bit repetitive. One of the main problems that I will have with books is that it could have been shorter, could have been more concise. You didn't need to ramble as much to just pad the book, but definitely thought this could have been a little bit shorter, and sometimes found it hard to know how to apply certain things in like a real life situation. But if you struggle with like self-discipline and just like quitting on things, this is a really great book to read. Another book that I read for 75 Hard was How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. This is by Dale Carnegie. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's written some other really famous books as well. So this book kind of breaks down why we worry, some of the common causes of worry, and what we can start doing to eliminate those, and how we can just start living a really full life. I thought this was a really great book. It's nice and thin. I feel like it cuts out the crap for most of it and just kind of really to the point, and some really good learnings in here. Towards the end of the book, we get into like a section about like people telling their stories and stuff, and I just felt like that part was way too long. But overall, just a good read, and some things, probably most things, 95% of the things that we already know, but sometimes you just need to read it to apply it. I would say if you do suffer from like extra worrying or a little bit of like anxiety, not something of course that you need professional help with, but just on like a basic level, if you want to kind of, if something that you struggle with, this was a pretty good read. It's really easy to read and get through as well, but nothing groundbreaking. Yeah, nothing extremely groundbreaking. And there may be a few things that I would apply to my life, but nothing like that Can't Hurt Me book, where I have things that pop out, and when I'm struggling with something, that book constantly kind of flashes in my mind. This one, after I finish reading it, I've kind of moved on from it. I would give this book a 3 stars. The next book that I read is Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. This was a fantastic book. It is a really short book. I think I read it in like 40 minutes. They have like pages like this, and then like kind of like this. Really, really, really good book. If you are a content creator, if you're an artist, if you're any kind of creative, read this book. I'm gonna go through and read it again because it was just like that good. This is gonna be a 5-star read from me. This is such a great example of when you can just cut out all the fluff from a book and he just tells you the straight up points of a book. He could have easily made this like a really thick book and just like gone on and on and on about stuff, but he just literally will give you like a line explain the thing and get out of there. It's a fantastic book. Highly recommend that you read this book. 5 stars, like a million infinity stars. I love this book. It's amazing. And the last book that I read this month, I have this book on my bedside table and I can't be bothered to grab it, but it is The Four Agreements by Don. I'm going to put up the book over here, but it's about 4 things in life that you should kind of live by. And I'm not going to go too much into this book because I absolutely hated it. I hated it. I hated reading it. It was like pure torture for me to read it. I'm sorry if you're one of those people that love this book, but it was torture for me to read. This is a 1 star for me. I think this is the first book I'm giving a 1 star all year, but it was just so much fluff. Like there's just so much blabber and just like, is this important for me to know? Like, or so much, you say a phrase, you say a paragraph, and then I felt like the book was just rephrasing the same paragraph in a million different ways. I absolutely hated the book. It is not the type of like self-development book that I really enjoy, where it just is so fluffy. I hated the book, guys. I hated it. Moving on to some happier topics, let's talk about my TBR list, some books that I want to finish in the month of August. The first book is The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. And you can already see I have a little bookmark in there. I've already started reading this. This is my current book for 75 Hard. So far, I'm not really enjoying it. It again, just like the storytelling way of being self-help. And I think I just prefer it to be slightly in a more factual way, especially if it's not going to be a like Can't Hurt Me was storytelling, but it was like a true story based on his life, which I enjoyed. But this one just has like some made up characters and I just don't enjoy the way that it's told. But it's a very highly recommended book. I did DNF it, like I put it down a couple of years ago and I thought it was just a really crappy book, but someone recommended it again to me. I want to start getting up earlier, and so I thought it'd just be a good book to read. You'll hear about it next month if I actually enjoyed it or not. The next book that I want to read, I think about like halfway through this book, but it is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now this is a great book. It's a great book. I absolutely love it. I have the physical version and I also listen to the audiobook, and I'm trying to do a little bit of both, like going back and forth, because there's so much knowledge packed into this book. I highly recommend it. If you struggle with your habits, with making good changes in your life, this really breaks stuff down for you, and it's such a good read. It's a really easy read. If you get the audiobook, I think the audiobook is easy to listen to and consume as well. It's like not like you're gonna get a bunch of really confusing facts, and the audiobook is only like 6 or 7 hours long. Really easy like listen. Highly recommend this book so far. I've been loving it, and it is on my, I want to finish this for the month of August. I also want to read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This is book number 2 of the Divine Rivals series. I do want to find out what's happened to the characters at the end of it. It's just been a slow kind of a start to this book, I guess, because it's not, I didn't 100% enjoy the previous book, but I do want to finish it because I did. I thought I was gonna love Divine Rivals, so I bought both of the books. Some other books that I'm reading on my Kindle that I want to finish up are Ashes of the Star-Crossed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is the second book in the series. Also the first book in the Throne of Glass series. I'm still reading it. I know, don't come for me. How not to give a, we're gonna put up the book over here. I'm listening to this as an audiobook, so I want to finish that off. And then A Good Guide, I always get this wrong, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm currently in the process of listening to this also on an audiobook, and I really love the audiobook. It has like all of these sound effects and stuff, which is really fun to listen to. Right, so that is my TBR list. I did pick up some new books this month. I actually picked up a lot of new books because I was just really loving like the swing of 75 Hard, like the nonfiction books. So everything I picked up is mainly nonfiction, and I thought we would go through it really quickly together. The first is Purple Cow by Seth Godin. This is a small business book. Then we have another book. It is called The E-Myth by Michael E. Gerber. Again, a book for small businesses. Then we have 100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. Contagious by Jonah Berger. Save the Cat by Blake Schneider. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. The One-Page Marketing Plan by Alan Dibb. And the last book that I bought, I actually started reading it as a Kindle. They have a free Kindle Unlimited version of this, but I don't have access to, I can't see the pictures that they're using on the Kindle. And it is a book about the director Wes Anderson. and I'll just show you the kind of like the inside of the book. But it has like all of these pretty like little pictures, very nicely like set out and done. So I just wanted to have like to be able to see these pictures. It is quite a quick read, so I'm gonna try and get through it. Maybe not this month, but it's just like a beautiful book. I love reading what I read. I think I read about like 30% of it on Kindle, and then I decided I wanted to be able to see the pictures like that it was referring to as well, because I haven't read or I haven't watched all of Wes Anderson's works. It has also really inspired me to watch some of his movies and given me some good ideas on like just storytelling and creating vlogs for YouTube and stuff through what he says about making movies. All right, that is our little book portion of the vlog done. Let's move on to the next task. The next thing that we're gonna do for our monthly reset is menu planning. I wanna plan out a menu that's gonna run over like 7 days and will repeat itself. This month, I have been doing my best to eat healthy. I've incorporated eating like veggies with every single meal, having halving the amount of carbs that I'm having. I haven't really been strictly calorie counting, and I think that route is just like currently not for me, but I just want to make like healthier kind of options. I want to include more greens in all of my meals. I want to cut back on some of like carbs and things that I'm eating. As you guys know, I'm on my weight loss journey. I want to lose some of the weight that I want to lose all of the weight that I gained during my pregnancy and kind of get back to a place that I was at where I felt a lot healthier and fitter. I've talked about this before a little bit, where when I started my business, I kind of started developing really, really unhealthy habits, and I blame it on my business, but at the end of the day, it was me who didn't stop and like think about what was going on. I developed really, really unhealthy habits of always ordering food from outside because I was too busy to figure out like my meals. And I also just stopped working out, no working out whatsoever for like many years in between. And I went from being pretty active to like not doing anything because I was so focused on growing my business. And I think like I was just so like laser focused on that. So I just want to break out of some of those habits and get back to like a healthier, fitter place. Also just like that mindset of that I have currently, where like I constantly feel like I can't do stuff because I'm my size. So for example, when we were in Vietnam, I was getting so stressed about going on this kayak because I thought it was gonna sink, basically, to be honest with you guys. Or just like sometimes I don't go out because I'm scared of like the comments somebody's going to make, etc. And I just don't want to have those like limitations anymore. And I know part of it is like, just go out there and do the thing. You're not gonna sink the kayak. If somebody talks shit to you, you know, like they're not your friend. But I'm still working on all of that at the same time. But I'm gonna put together a lunch menu and a dinner menu, and it's going to repeat, like I said, every 7 days. So just like a menu from Monday to Sunday. And I want to make it so I kind of like cut down on some of the carbs, not all of it. I'm not doing keto or anything like that, but usually I do have a lot of like carb heavy meals, and I want to switch it up to having lots of protein in my meals and lots of veggies in my meals as well, because you know that's also like a habit that I want my daughter to have. And I see that when I have like include broccoli or cucumber, etc. in my meals, that she also reaches for it from my plate, and I'm like, I am all for that, girl. Like, and that is like a habit also, like growing up, to be honest, we weren't really taught. Like I think I did see my parents eating veggies and stuff, but like just understanding like food that nourishes you and that food that, you know, can sometimes impact you negatively, like, you know, gives you a crash or just makes you like feel sick or something like that. So yeah, let's plan a menu. Now I'm just gonna plan it on my notes app. It's like nothing fancy. Right, the menu is not gonna be usually how I do it. I'll write like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the days of the week, guys. And then we're just gonna write down like lunch and then dinner. That is literally it. I only have 2 meals in a day. I usually have like a really hectic morning with the baby, so don't end up eating all that much or anything at all during breakfast. If I lived in a different city, I would probably have like Like when I was living in Hyderabad, we would go out for like me and my friend. And I say I had at the time, it's because I moved to a different city and she moved to a different country. So we just obviously don't see each other. But we would go out every Saturday for brunch and like shopping. Other than that, that was like really the only time I had breakfast, but I don't usually have breakfast. That is also like a decision that happened just because things were really busy in the mornings, but then also something I tried to consciously like cut out just so I could have a bigger lunch and dinner, not waste like my calories, I want to say, on a breakfast. Usually also what I'm eating for lunch and dinner, that's what the baby will also kind of share. So whatever is basically my carb portion is what she usually ends up eating, and sometimes she'll also have like whatever protein I'm having as well. Okay, we are done with doing lunch. For lunch, I try to do like a carb option and then a grilled chicken type of option. I have some things that are like honey barbecue chicken, and then I have some pasta recipes, and then I have some pad thai, and then like a Vietnamese noodle recipe as well. Until I think I'm gonna stick to this until I can I find something that I'm craving and I want to change it up. So I'm pretty happy with how all of that's looking. I try to do a salad on some days, and then whatever days where I feel like there's not enough veggies, I'm just doing something really simple: steamed broccoli and steamed beans. Standard. I'm just gonna keep that the same for every single day. We don't have a huge variety of vegetables that are available here where we live. Yeah, I just don't want to overcomplicate it and then find like recipes for like that. Well, next we're gonna go through our dinner recipes. I already started. I found this one dinner recipe that I really like, a chicken burrito bowl that I'm really craving. So I'm gonna get that made with cauliflower rice for myself, and then for the baby I'm gonna get that made with rice, like just plain like white rice. One thing that I also want to mention is that we have a cook at home that prepares all of our meals for my husband and the baby. So most of these I won't be cooking myself. The only time like you guys see me on the reset where I like plan out, these are the things that I want to cook for the month from my recipe book. That's usually what I cook in the month myself. I love to cook. Yeah, I love to cook, and I love also cooking with the baby. We are doing like so many recipes together and stuff every month. However, just with work and stuff, I don't get time to cook during the day for everybody, and it's just one of those little privileges that we get to have to live in India, that we have someone as part of our house staff that prepares like delicious meals for us as well. It's something that, because we live in like a remote location or a smaller city, that comes with the perks of my husband's job, and like everybody that works also in his company has like meals provided for them like as well, or has like a cook, chef, whatever you want to call it, doing all of their meals as well. Yeah. And I just wanted to mention that just in case you guys think I'm cooking all of this food. I'm really not. If it was me, like cooking food in Australia, I would be having rotisserie chicken and pasta with sauce from a bottle and ready-made meals. Or I did HelloFresh for a while as well when I lived there, so stuff like that. But yeah, okay. So all right, I'm done with that. Now I'm gonna do dinner. So I'm feeling like I just don't know. Like, you know, if you go to a restaurant and you see a menu, you're like, these are the things that I want to eat. But then like I just can't, like, what recipe do I look for? I need that like starting thing. I just remembered burrito bowl because I just watched this Hindi movie a couple of days ago, in the movies where like the lady was obsessed with this burrito bowl. But what else can we do? Literally just looking up healthy. Let's look up on Pinterest. Healthy dinner ideas. A lot of these like bowl options. Ooh, this looks nice. I like this with the little pieces of bread. But everything that I pick, it also has to be like, you know, like good for the baby to eat. If it's like too dry, she doesn't like it. She really can't eat like wraps now. She's 16 months right now, 17 months almost. I'm trying to figure out some stuff that, this looks nice. Maybe we should do a burger bowl. That looks delicious. I know I should just go crazy for these fries. Should just, yeah. Okay, this looks also healthy. It's like made with like some Greek yogurt. I'll probably just cut back on maybe like mayo or something for myself. And then we'll probably just also make this with chicken, because we don't eat beef as a family, but there's no beef where we live. So we'll probably just get that made with chicken, but it looks delicious. Other than these, I think it's like pretty low carb as well. Okay, I'm glad that I came on Pinterest, y'all. I'm gonna just like copy paste this entire menu that I have down below if you guys also wanna like grab any recipes from there. Yeah, most of these I haven't made yet, so I can't vouch. for them. Oh, the sushi bowl looks so good, but I know it's gonna have like ingredients that I can't, like I won't have. Well, I think this is imitation crab, and I don't like, we're in a landlocked city and I'm just very picky about the seafood. Ooh, this Thai basil chicken. I've had this recipe before, I think, and it just turns out a little dry. I wish we just had access to more ingredients where we lived, because then I would be, you know, we could make whatever we wanted. These look really good. These spicy shrimp cucumber boats. I've seen this on social media. Looks really good, but we're gonna pass on that because it just seems, I crave salmon, guys, so badly. Like, the salmon that we get here is like called salmon, but it's not salmon, it's like a white fish. Like, they just, I don't know why they call it salmon, but it's really, really not salmon. Like, it's straight up like probably like a bassa fillet or something like that, or yeah, just a white fish. But that's something that I miss. I miss like good salmon. That's something I like, yeah, so much. I miss salmon. We are done. I am done with making the menu for August. We have a lot of really fun items, but still gonna keep it flexible to just like change stuff up. I will try to keep you guys updated on Instagram on all of the meals and how I'm liking them, and all the recipes and everything I'm gonna link down below if you guys want to just like, if you saw something that you kind of want to try. But I'm so glad that I have this done. This is such a huge part like of my week that always like stresses me out, and then have the majority of baby's like stuff done here as well. The only other meals that she has is breakfast and a snack, and usually for a snack we do like just something like quickly, like so like either like a fruit platter or some like chicken nuggets and fries. And for her breakfast she rotates between 3 things, which is either blueberry pancake, chia seed pudding, and along with that she'll have like boiled egg and some kind of fruits as well. And that's like solid and it works for her, and I'm not gonna attempt to change it or add anything new. It was like hard enough to find all of these recipes. I should really like save all of the recipes that I like, so every month I don't have to keep going back and finding like entirely new recipes. They're somewhere, I just don't know where, but yeah, so every month I don't have to go back and keep finding new recipes. Some things we can change, and then like whatever we didn't like we can just remove. But I'm excited for this, yeah, to give it a go. And yeah, let's move on to our next task. Meal planning for the month is done. One thing that we also always do together every single month is do a little cleanup of my skincare section in my bathroom. I am super heavily into skincare just because I'm not very good at putting on makeup, and I'm too lazy to put on makeup every single day. So I try to focus heavily on having just like good skin where I don't need to do too much on it. Also because during postpartum, and I guess even now you could consider that I'm postpartum, I don't know if you can, but I'm currently 16 months postpartum, and I've just had the craziest skin during pregnancy and postpartum. Like, most people say that their skin is glowing, that it's never been better, and my skin was the exact opposite. Like, I was breaking out the entire time I was pregnant and also postpartum, just breaking out nonstop. So I invested in a lot of like different skincare items to try and figure out what's working for me and what wasn't. I don't have a good dermatologist where I live. You guys know I live in a small town in India, and I just don't have access to a good regular dermatologist. So a lot of the things I had to kind of like, I'm just trying to figure out on my own, which is why I have a lot of skincare items. But in today's video, I've already organized a lot of my skincare for this month. I got these like little buckets, bought some of them, and just tried to find some around the house and sort out all of my products according to what they do. So for example, cleansers, toners, moisturizers, sunscreens, like gentle serums and stuff, and then more like active ingredients like AHAs and BHAs, or things that will like do like a chemical exfoliation or are meant for acne, etc. So I kind of like sorted things out. Up here, you guys can kind of see, yeah, up here I have some of my like body care, like body lotions and things like that. But up here but this box is what we're going to talk about this month. It is filled with my empty skincare for the month. I have been collecting these and saving these. My husband thinks I'm crazy. He's like, why aren't you throwing these out? But one of the things that I've been trying to do is, now that I feel like I have a handle on things in terms of like, I know what's working for my skin and what isn't, I'm just trying to work through the products that I have and really downsize my collection. Like I don't want to have 5 cleansers anymore, max maybe like 2, one for morning, one for night, and one that will also work for both that like I can travel with. Yeah, this has some body care, it has some hair stuff, has some skincare as well. So the first 2 things that we went through this month is the Bath and Body Works body washes. These are the 2 that I've also gone through. Like we started on these like a while ago, maybe in like Feb or March, and I noticed this was like finishing up faster than I thought, and it's mainly because my husband was using it too. Now I don't mind when he uses this stuff, but I wish he would tell me so like I know like when to order it, because only like when they were both like, I didn't realize how much faster they were finishing. But now we don't have like a good like body wash option. I'm using some soap that I picked up earlier from my Europe trip, which, you know what, on a side note, I highly recommend, like if you go traveling, pick up like something like other than a magnet that you can come home that you can use, because we bought these like 3 or 4 soaps from Belgium, and it's so nice like 6 months on from the trip for me to use them, because it just reminds me of our trip that we took to Europe. So highly recommend doing something like that, like buying a body cream from like a local brand or something that reminds you of your trip as you use it. But these are really great. I have the Velveteer and Vanilla flavor, and then the eucalyptus and lavender. Love them both. This one, the eucalyptus and lavender, I love using kind of during the day. It's like a really fresh minty kind of smell. The vetiver, not Velveteer, the vetiver I think it's called, and the vanilla is really nice for the evening. It's like a really lush, sensual kind of a, sorry, that was so awkward, smell, but it's really nice. I've interchanged them often, but that's kind of how I use them. And they also both come with a body scrub. The body scrub, I'm still working my way through. I don't use the body scrub every time. When maybe I'm doing like a longer, deeper shower, I'll try to combine them and use them together, which is why obviously the body scrub I've had and I haven't worked through yet. These 2 items I would definitely buy again. I don't have a Bath and Body Works in my area, and sometimes when I order online from them, they cancel the order. So I usually just wait until I'm in Hyderabad to pick up a new set. Next thing I have is the Virtue hair mask. It's a restorative treatment mask. This is what it looks like. I think I got this from Nika, and it's a really lovely hair mask. It smells incredible. I've completely finished this. Would I be buying this again? Probably not. I feel like there are better masks suited for my skin, but this smells so good, and it does make your hair like nice and soft. I don't know if it doesn't really reduce frizziness, this one, but definitely makes your hair nice and soft. And I can't also say like that the purpose of the product is supposed to be rebuild and strengthen, but I really can't say if it's like strengthened my hair. I've had really bad hair since postpartum as well, just really dry, really frizzy, like a lot of hair fall. So I'm doing a lot to try to like, again, experimenting with the products and finding something that I like. One other hair mask that I've been using is the Aveda Botanical Repair Intensive Strengthening Mask. I took this on my trip to Asia. Those Asia vlogs are coming out this month. I'm so excited, you guys. We finally finished like putting everything together and editing them. So all throughout August, I'm gonna be posting those vlogs. Make sure you go and check them out because I'm so excited for them. And leave me your thoughts and whatnot if you enjoyed the vlogs, how I could do it better, because I had so much fun shooting and putting them together, and the team had so much fun editing it as well. So definitely let me know. But this mask, I would definitely buy again. It's not my favorite scent. The Virtue one smells a little bit better, but my hair is so soft after using this. I use it with the shampoo as well. I'm still going on the shampoo. And then I also use it with the Botanical Repair Strengthening Leave-In Treatment. I can't explain to you, these products are top notch. I can see why you would pay so much for the products. They also last a really, really long time. You literally only need like a teaspoon of product each time for it to work. I will definitely be buying this again. I think I've already actually placed an order for it, but definitely getting this again, especially since I have half the bottle of shampoo still left. I also got this little tester from Aveda as well. This is from their Nutriplenish range, and this is a deep moisture hydration mask. And this one has maybe like, you could do it like, use it like 3 or 4 times. Pretty empty. I think that's like I can actually get some water and use a little bit more of it. But this I bought also like the full size one to give it a go because this is supposed to be really good for frizz, and I have really frizzy hair. You can't tell now because I have straightened my hair and I have used product on it, but if I don't, my hair gets really frizzy. So I'm excited to try out this range. I also got the shampoo in this range. I also got the leave-in conditioner for it. All right, we have one more like mask kind of, actually this is a scrub. This is the OUAI. I have no idea how to pronounce it, so I'm spelling it out. It's a scalp and body scrub. I got this, I think it's a freebie or a tester, I can't remember, but it's really nice. It smells beautiful. I use it mainly as a body scrub. I feel like a little iffy using it as a scalp scrub because my scalp gets oily really easily. So I do use it as a body scrub. Will I buy it again? Maybe, but just to use as a body scrub because I really liked it as a body scrub. I wasn't a fan of it as a scalp scrub whatsoever, but I feel like also it's so expensive that there are other similar options in a lower price range that give like the same bang. Then we have some skincare products. This is the Origins Clear Improvement Active Charcoal Mask, and I have cleaned this product out. I also like cut it open so I could scoop it out. It's a beautiful clay mask. I highly recommend clay masks. One, if you like them, but two, I really like them for my acne. I feel like it really helps. It helps mattify things and then also just reduce breakouts for me as well. So I always like to have one of these, like a clay mask in my collection at all times. I initially bought this to use when I'm traveling, but then I realized that when I travel, I just don't use masks. I just don't. No matter what size I'm buying them in, I just don't use them. So I just decided to finish this off at home, and I probably won't buy like a mini size like this again. I'll just buy the full size version that I can just use at home. Okay, the next two products are the same product but in two different sizes. This is like the mini version and this is the full size version that I bought. But this is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow AHA Night Treatment. This is an amazing product. I love it. I use it with the toner. So I put on the toner first and then I put this, and it's like hydrating, but it still has that active ingredient that gives me like glowy, soft skin, but also like doesn't make me break out. I absolutely love these products. I just like literally finished them both up at the same time. They don't travel very well, but this is why I have the mini version in here. It just always spills out when I'm traveling with it, so I don't end up like traveling with it. But this product, really good. I definitely will be purchasing again. It's not available in India, so I usually purchase it when I'm traveling like in Australia or in Singapore. Next is a cleanser. This is the First Aid Beauty Pure Skin Face Cleanser, but really great for like a double cleanse. If I have makeup on, I will also always do an oil cleanser first and then go in with this. If I don't have the oil cleanser available, I just do this 2 times, but really gentle, doesn't strip your skin, but also doesn't like leave your skin feeling like it's still got product on it. It like really washes everything away, but gentle at the same time, and like doesn't leave your skin feeling greasy, but doesn't leave your skin feeling dry. It works really well for me as someone who struggles with breaking out and some acne and things like that, and like clogged pores, lots of blackheads. I really love this product. I have it in the smaller size. I have like one larger size, but I have it in the smaller size because I took it with me on my Asia trip and I finished like 80% of it on the trip and then just finished the last little bit at home. And then one other thing that I have been using, I'm not sure if I love this or not. I probably will repurchase it just because I find it convenient, but this is the Veet Pure Hair Removal Cream. Now, I personally haven't done the research on these like hair removal creams, so please don't take my word for it, but I was recommended this by one of my friends. It's a weird thing. I've never done hair removal on my arms. I've just kind of always left it as is, but I just thought I would give it a try. It did make me get like ingrown hairs, so I do have to exfoliate and like moisturize a little bit, but this is really convenient. It takes like 10 minutes. I just lather it on my arms and then I just wait and then hop in the shower and just like massage it off. Just a really good way to have like hairless arms, but then also like it makes my arms afterwards like really smooth. I do have to exfoliate and moisturize to avoid ingrown hairs from it, but I definitely think I would purchase it again just because it's convenient and it's good. That is it for my skincare empties. I'm not sure if I'm gonna throw these out or do like save them and do like a skincare empties at the end of the year maybe as well, like a complete wrap up. Not sure, but let's go ahead. We need to go out and get some new plants and some new flowers for the house. Now, the last thing that we do every month, or one of the last things that we do every month, is resetting our goals for next month and looking over the goals for the current month. I guess I have been a little bit dreading this because I haven't, at least I don't think I have achieved any of the monthly goals that I set. You guys be disappointed in me. I know I'm disappointed for sure in myself, and I knew that I was filming this video, so I tried to fit things in and tried to really get stuff done in the last like couple of days of the month before I had to film this video, and even then it just was like not possible. But that's the honest truth. But let's have a little look at what I set my goals to be and actually kind of like what ended up happening. All right, let's go over and have a look at the goals that I set for the month of July. The first, set up an automated email chain. I did not do this, send 4 emails. I sent 1 email, post on Sham's floor. I think I posted once. Finished setting up office room. It's really not finished. Finished closet reno, and you guys saw the closet reno is not yet complete. I'm still in the works. Put up frames in the bedroom. That's also still not done. I have maybe half the frames that are here and the other half are, I'm still waiting for them to be delivered. Read 6 books. I did do this, so I'm gonna give it a tick, but we'll go over, actually no, you guys would have already seen me talk about the books that I've read for the month, so you know that I did do this one. Cook 4 recipes: cauliflower with brown butter breadcrumbs, creamy potato salad, penne with vodka sauce, chicken pot pie. I did not do this. We did do some cooking. I made tandoori cauliflower, roasted cauliflower. We made some cookies, I think. Some kind of cookies, and then we made some zucchini brownies. The last 2, the cookies and brownies, I made with the baby. Tandoori roasted cauliflower I made just like for myself. I didn't cook these recipes. Let's talk a little bit about what happened. I did not anticipate how much I would struggle this month with figuring out a routine along with 75 hard daily vlogging. That is the gist of it. I know that sounds really stupid because we have full-time help at home. I have full-time help with the baby. I get to make my own schedule, and my life is relatively like a good one, and relatively I would say easy one. I don't have a particularly hard job or a grueling job. I'm in the process of shutting down a business, so that side of work is a lot lighter than it would be if I was starting up a business or in the grind of a business. But I really, really, really struggled with this. I was working out to do the second workout really late, sometime past midnight. It is also raining so heavily, guys, so I apologize for all of the rain noise that you guys are getting. I just really, really, really struggled. Even today, my body feels really sore and I'm mentally so foggy. I've been having like 3 or 4 cups of coffee every single day. I don't want to say it's because I'm working so hard on the challenge and all of this stuff. It's just literally feel like I'm always on the go with the challenge, with like work, with the vlogging, that I haven't had time to just step back and reset. I probably just need to remove a couple of things and reset my routine and then like add more things in. I just didn't do that, and I don't want to blame the challenge. I don't want to blame the fact that I'm anything. It's just literally been my discipline and my overall willpower, and I feel really disappointed in myself, and I feel also like I'm disappointing you guys in the way that like you come on here not to see somebody fail on the internet, but you want to be motivated, you want to be inspired, you want to see some part of me winning, and I feel like that's just was a flop this month really, and I have no excuses. I just couldn't get on top of my own crap. And anyway, we're gonna start talking about it now because it just is what it is. But anyway, let's go through some of the goals that we set for 2024. We can figure out what our August month goals are going to be. All right, so for travel, nothing really happened in the month of July. I didn't travel anywhere because I knew I was gonna do 75 hard. The one trip that we did have planned, which was Bhutan for our engagement anniversary, we ended up canning that because I just thought it would be too hard to just balance everything, and my husband's also having a busy time at work, etc. So no progress, and 20 new countries. I believe I'm at like 11 or something right now. Visit 4 new countries with my daughter. Nope. Snorkeling trip, ballet, Christmas market, obviously not. Northern Lights, no. Moving on to work goals. All of these are still pending. I haven't posted 100 long form videos. It is absolutely raining cats and dogs right now. So if there's beeping, it's a generator going off. If there's rain noise in the background or like noise in the background, it's the rain. If the lights keep going on and off, it's because of the power. So anyway, none of these have been done. Invisalign, running 5K. Oh, losing weight. I'm about like 50% to my goal. I think last month when we spoke, I was like 40%-ish. Now I'm 50%. It is moving along a little slowly than of course I would like, but it is moving along. Finding a common hobby with my husband, Pranay. Yeah, I'm gonna take this because this is done. We have done tennis 6 times in a year. We're going regularly. We've actually few common hobbies this year. We're both reading together. He's like gotten back into reading and we're quite enjoying that. We're doing journaling together, not like on the same book, but he's journaling on his phone on like an app and I do my 6-month journal, and then we always try to discuss and share things that we're grateful with. And I feel like so far this year it has been an amazing, like we have the first year of having a baby. A lot of you guys will kind of know what I'm talking about here if you've had a child. That aspect of it, like we've definitely kind of worked through, and I feel like we're stronger than we were before we had the baby. Truly, like I feel like we are connected. All right, so that's about it. Some things that I think that I just won't achieve this year. I feel like the snorkeling trip, let's put it in like red. Just as I'm gonna remove this, but just as a let's be realistic. Christmas market, I don't think so. I think there's a chance that I might go to a Christmas. There is a chance, but I don't think this is happening. Northern Lights, I don't think this is happening. My husband really wants to come on my birthday trip with me, which it's a personal thing for me. I just want to do something so low key for my birthday, and if I'm traveling I want to spend it alone. It's like childhood trauma stuff, you guys. I gotta work through it with a therapist. It's definitely not anything in our marriage or like I don't love him or something like that, so please don't run with that, but it's just like a really like a childhood trauma kind of thing. I think I'm kind of working through it, and I think we're gonna spend my birthday together. I don't think there's a chance that I'm gonna go see the Northern Lights. I was planning on going to Norway to see the Northern Lights, and I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. And I was planning after Norway to visit like either Germany or Vienna, and I also don't think that's gonna happen anymore. I think there's still a chance that I might get to go see a Christmas market, the ones in London, but I guess we can't really count London as part of the EU anymore. I think there's a chance of all of these still happening. I think this one, guys, that's not gonna happen. I think I could get some recipes done, 30 recipes. Unless I really crack on with it, I just really don't think so. I also want to give you guys a quick book count. I don't know if I said it when I was going over the books because I didn't have my computer with me. I'm currently up to 42 books read for the year, so that's a pretty amazing feat. I have never read this many books in a year. I think the most I've actually done is like 50, but that took me the entire year to do. So I think this year, to be honest, the combination of just finding really good books to read, having the Kindle to read on, and also doing audiobook has really kind of like helped me. I know a lot of people don't count audiobooks as books to be counted on your read list, but I'm not competing in an official competition, just with myself to see how many books I can get through in a year, how many books I consume in a year. So I'm counting my audiobooks, but if you don't want to count your audiobooks, that's completely fine. If you don't count the audiobooks that I've read, that's completely fine. You can assume every time like 20 less books than not even 20, maybe like 10 less books than I've said. Yeah, so far I think I've done like 20 books on audio. If you don't want to count it, that's completely fine. I completely understand the argument on the other side, on both sides, but I'm just counting the books that I have read, consumed this year, and enjoyed. So yeah, let's go ahead and set our monthly goals right now. In August, I don't plan on traveling or anything like that, so we have no travel goals for the year. I'm trying to think if I should put something like organize something or plan something, but just don't have anything in mind right now, so I'm just gonna skip past that. I'm not gonna put any of the like YouTube kind of upload goals. I'm not putting anything up. I do have the goal to post like 100 long form videos by the end of the month, and then I'm posting this in the month of August, like all of my travel vlogs, and then from September to like kind of October I have like 60 videos that I'm posting, so I think I should be able to meet pretty easily at this stage. But right now I am feeling pretty kind of defeated with what I'm doing. 5 digital products in this month. I want to like finish the transitions masterclass. So just finish uploading all of the videos and just like going over the intro, the outro, all of that, so we can launch it in the month of September. Closing Shams Fleur and selling out all of the products, kind of still a work in progress. Hiring a social media manager and assistant. We'll see if we can get that done this month. We have posted up the job ad just like the other day actually, and hopefully we can find someone. This month we did hire a new editor because we had one of our old editors leaving, so we hired 2 new editors actually, and yes, I'm really happy with that. Set up 3 automated email chains. Let's do 1 automated email chain, and let's do 4 emails. Again, that's the same goal we had last month, and yeah, let's see how that kind of goes. I have no personal goals, guys. I'm trying to think if like I should, instead of like scattering myself, so I'm still doing 75 hard this month for the month of August, so I don't want to overwhelm myself with like a bunch of goals. The thing with finishing this masterclass is that I need to probably do like 5% of the work for this, and the rest is right now like to my editor to finish editing and posting all of these in the course. Similarly with this, like my admin assistant and my business manager does the main hiring and stuff, and I probably just need to sit in on the 2nd or 3rd round of interviews for this, but he will do the posting, the resume screening, the 1st round of interviews, and then I probably will get my senior editor Farhan to do this 3rd round of interviews, because they're most likely going to be working really closely with him more so than me, and then I might do the 3rd round of interviews, or I might just skip Farhan's round and just do it. So I know this is not going to be that much work, but I'm like, do I split up this work with these emails, or do I just be like, I'm gonna have 1 goal this month in terms of like work, and that's gonna be to set up these automated email chains. I think we're gonna try that. I'm gonna be setting up 3 automated email chains. This is actually like, it is a ton of work, because in an automated email chain you will have, usually I have about like 10 to 20 emails per automation. So basically it's where like I've already pre-written all of the emails and they just get sent out like once every week. That's gonna be my goal. And then I'm gonna read 6 books, and that's gonna be a wrap, guys. That's gonna be my goals for the month of August. I'm not putting anything in terms of like Invisalign or 5K. I know I'm not going to start doing 5K practice again until after 75 hard is over, just because 75 hard is already really tough as it is, and I'm finding running really tough on my body right now, so I don't want to mesh those 2 things together where I'm getting more tired. So really the biggest thing that I have to do right now is set up my automated email chains. That's going to be a wrap on the goals. I'm going to work on my vision board right now. Let's go and do that. Let's work on our vision board. I want to try and make a vision board for maybe the rest of the year, at least until November. Maybe it's just how I'm feeling right now or today, but maybe because I'm just feeling a little like down about the fact that I didn't finish any of my goals. I just don't feel 100% inspired. But first thing that I'm going to do is go through my travel kind of goals. One of like them is to visit 20 new countries. Some of the places, I think I have bad internet, I already have booked or I have planned. So for example, in the month of September, I'm going to be traveling to Estonia. I am so excited to go to Estonia. Everything just looks stunning about the country. Like, I love the foliage, I love the architecture. I think that's how you say it. So I'm going to save a few images from Estonia. This kind of view I'm going to try and find when I go there. And then let's also do a country that I'm kind of up in the air about. I would like to go to, but I haven't bought the tickets for it yet. That is going to be Brunei. I want to say half the things you'll realize by now, if you have been on this journey with me long enough, is that my pronunciation for all things in every language absolutely sucks. All right, so I think this view I really like, and seems to be like a little classic Brunei view. So I'm gonna save that, and let's just do like Christmas market. I think there's like apple cider at Christmas markets that we have. Is that what it is? I forget. Mulled wine. So I don't know if I'm gonna go into a European Christmas market or the one in UK, but whatever it is, I want to have some mulled wine. So I'm going to save an image of a regular schmegular Christmas market with a picture of mulled wine, because that's the goal. Instead of, because previously, like on my vision board over here, I saved a picture of the Vienna Christmas market, and now it looks like I might not be going to the Vienna Christmas market. Oh, look at that. As I'm saying Vienna Christmas market, here is Vienna Christmas market. Great. It just knows where to get me. So yeah, anyway, instead instead of saving that, I'm just gonna do a random shot of a Christmas market with some mulled wine. Let me see what I can find. I'm trying not to make it anything too specific because sometimes when I do that, like for example, if I save this image and then I don't have like mulled wine in a boot, I'll be like, it doesn't count, which is completely like stupid on my behalf. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna save this image because that's all I got right now. Also, yeah, like I was saying, if you don't know, Christmas and mainly December is my most favorite time of the year. I absolutely love December. It is my birthday month. It is just everything to me, truly. I just love the month of December. Thus, I like end up loving Christmas. I just think it's magical. We always travel during that month. Growing up, it was summer in Australia during that month, so it meant like school's out and it was like the beginning of the summer holidays. When I used to work in like retail and fast food, they would always be like, I don't know, kind of cranky, but also like happy shoppers, and you get double time at work. Double time is like you get paid. Like I used to make, I think at my first job when I used to work at this chicken shop, I used to make like $7 an hour, which was, I would say, pretty good for me at that stage. I used to make $7 an hour, and during Christmas time you make like $14 an hour because you'd have like late night shopping or you work on a Sunday, etc. So what I'm trying to say is that I love Christmas, guys. I absolutely love it. So this kind of vibe is just right up my alley. All right, I found a random Christmas market image. Well, this one actually says Berliner, so I'm assuming this is in Berlin, but I know that I'm definitely not going to be in Berlin, so I think I'm okay with that. I'm going to use this one. It's cute. All right, we're going to move on to the next image. Okay, and that is usually like work related, so I'm just looking up like YouTube, I guess, and it's going to be a bunch of like YouTube related, like 100K. I think I already have a few like images already saved, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but some images on like shooting and that aesthetic kind of thing really, I just love it. Just tickles something in me, it motivates me, makes me feel like I'm part of something bigger when like I'm really not. Yeah, that's just how it makes me feel. So like an image like this makes me feel so good. Or even something like this, which is just like a soundtrack, an image like this. I'm gonna download that one because I don't have that one yet. Let's also do, I like this 50K subscribers. I want to be like consistent with my goals, right? I don't want to have 10K here and then 100K there and all of that stuff. This is cute too. I love that like little thing. Like my goal this year is not to get to 100K. I don't know, just to have that little number there. These images with like the little camera, I don't know, it just tickles something in me, and motivation. Something like this is also really cute. I think this is like a story though. All right, we have moved on to our next little image, and that's going to be 5 a.m. morning motivation that I have. I don't have any goals right now in August to wake up at 5 a.m. I just want to start resetting kind of a little bit of my routine. I know it's going to only get worse if I don't fix it up when I travel in September to Europe, because Europe is like a later waking up time. If I was going to Australia in September, that'd be fine, because Australia you wake up earlier than you do in India, and then I always reset my routine when I go to Australia because we have such early mornings there. I also have such a bad habit of like making up so many excuses in my head about stuff. Okay, I'm just trying to look up these last couple of like 5 a.m. morning like images. We're gonna go with that, and we're gonna see if we need to come back and add any more images. Let's hop over to Canva. This is the little vision board I was using the last couple of months. We're gonna continue with that. I'm gonna drop in all of the images that I just downloaded. I am gonna keep some of the old ones for sure, but I just want to update and just get rid of some things. It just helps me kind of like not be like blasé about what I'm looking at. You know, sometimes when you're just looking at the same image over and over again, you kind of forget that it's there. So that's why you see me always kind of changing it up. I'm gonna drop this in here. I'm gonna drop this maybe in like right over here, and then we're gonna add in just lots maybe of like editing little things. Let's put our travel things right. Well, actually I have one travel thing, I have two travel things, which is Estonia, and then I have a little one of Brunei. So let's do that here actually. I actually like that, so we'll keep that as that. 50K subs, and then lots of this little working ones. And I want to change this one right over here. What do we have left? I think we have this one with this watch. The last thing that we're going to do for our vision board is set up this little task list that we have here. Finish transitions masterclass, and then hire a social media manager,
I'm just gonna write manager. Actually, I'm just gonna write assistant, because then if I hire a manager, then I did it. Set up 3 automated emails chains, and then read 6 books. Those are my little goals for the month, and I'm just gonna shrink this down. Oh, I can't shrink it down. I wanted to shrink it down, but I cannot. We're just gonna put that like this. We're gonna move this to the front, position forward, and then our background, I'm gonna go to elements now. I'm gonna do like forest. Usually I've been doing like sunrise and stuff, but I just feel in a foresty mood. I might actually, I'm thinking of just changing this little thing here. I might, okay, let me just do a duplicate so I don't ruin my actual final piece. Then I might just get a little square here. This is like the final thing that I have made, and I think I like this version a lot more than my previous version. So this is what we're gonna stick to, and I'm just going to go ahead and download this page, just that page, and I'm happy with that. Let's go and create some for my phone. I'm saying our phone, but it's my phone. We're gonna do our phone now. First thing, let's just update the photos that we have, that we picked. All right, that's all of my photos updated. I'm gonna go ahead and update this too. All right, I am done also with the phone. I'm just gonna rename this phone vision board. I'm done with that, so I'm gonna export this as well and have it on my phone. I'm gonna put it on right now, or else I feel like I will forget and then go through the entire month without doing it. So let's do it on my desktop. Let's change over our wallpaper. But this is what my vision board for the month looks like on my desktop. I'm gonna now do it on my phone. I managed to get most of my reset tasks done. The only thing that I missed out on was getting some new plants for the house. We did do the flowers, but I couldn't get the plants. And also my self-care day with a little massage, mani-pedi. I think I have to set aside like a separate day to do all of that, because trying to do it whilst I'm doing like all of the home stuff and all of that can be a little bit hectic. So I might do that like tomorrow or something. I think on top of doing everything for 75 hard as well, and like regular work stuff. But that is a wrap on our August reset. I hope you were inspired, maybe a little motivated to do a little reset of your own. It doesn't have to be as extensive as mine, but just maybe a little decluttering and some small goals. It can just be like going to a new cafe or going for a walk, like doing a digital detox, or spending like having a date night or something like that. Just something small that you're proud of at the end of the month, or that you look forward to as well. But that is it from me. I will see you guys in my Asia travel vlogs. Keep a lookout for that. I'm so excited for the vlogs. We've put a lot of heart into it, so I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I'll see you there. Bye.